Welcome to this week's technique video. This week is all about gatefolds. Now you're thinking, gatefolds, do I have to do measuring? The answer is yes, unfortunately you will. However, I'm going to share with you how to get that gorgeous gatefold, but then put a twist on it and do different types of gatefold. You may be thinking, how can I do different types of gatefold? Well, stay with me and you're going to be intrigued and how easy it is to create that amazing wild card in just 2 score lines. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to go through how to do a standard gatefold to start off with. So let's move down to here. So this is a normal A4 piece of card. Now the measurements, it would make our life easier if it was exactly a even measurement, but it isn't. Unfortunately, it's 29.7 centimeters. So it's 29.7 centimeters that we have across here. Now, what I want to do is make this into a gatefold. Now, to make this into a gatefold, you do need to use a scoreboard and a score tool. I tend to use my paper trimmer because it's got measurements across there. Now, the thing to remember is it's almost 30 centimeters. And what we're going to do is divide it into 3, and almost you're dividing it into 4 because the center bit has to equal the sides. Now, what I mean by that, the way I always remember is start with 7.5 centimeters. So I'm lining it up to there like so, 7.5, and then use my score tool. Now, the one thing to remember is depending on your score tool, it might be thicker on either, one's thicker and one's thinner on the ball tool. I tend to use the bigger one because I find I have more control. So that's 7.5 centimeters. And then I turn it over and do exactly the same, which is 7.5 centimeters. That equals, both sides are equal. Now, the thing about it, unfortunately, now it's all to do with maths, and I'm not very good at maths, but obviously it's nearly 30 centimeters. So my top tip to make sure it equals in the middle is fold over in. So I line it up to the edges like so, use my bone folder and do the same like so. And then I turn it over the other way and then do the same. But before I actually do that, I hold this bit down and line up the other side. And then that enables you to get that couple of mil, give or take, to make that perfect gatefold. Now, when you're creating that gorgeous gatefold, you can see that you can do these lovely elements that you've got on here, that you can just line them up and have them as you wish. But this is what I want to show you how to create. You can create a gatefold, but it's not even. So what I want to do is show you how to do that. So what I'm doing again, so remember we started off with 7.5 centimeters. Now I want to make it a little bit thinner. So on this instance, all I'm doing is going to 4.5. Now because I've gone on 4.5 on one side, as you can see here, so I'm just going down there to create that 4.5. Then on this side, instead of 4.5, okay, what I'm doing is adding the other 3 from the 7.5 to equal 10.5. Hopefully that makes sense. Remember, originally we had 7.5 on either side. Now, because I've started on a 4.5 on this side, now fold it in like I showed you, like so. There we go. And then what I'm doing is taking this side, and like I did before, I'm lining it up to the edge first, like so it's even, and then I use my bone folder and press down just in case it's off a couple of mil. But then by doing it that way, you will get that equal on the edge. Now we have, when I say we, I have already cut out my elements that I have here. Now what I've done is I've already laid them all out, and then I'm just going to get all my extra bits. I'm all prepared. Now this is using the promotion that we have today. It's from Flutter by Dreams. It's a lovely collection. So once you've got your base card, fixing it all together is straightforward. So I'm just using some 3-in-1 glue. You line it up like so. There we go. Put it in place, and then I have my other one. I printed it off on a coated paper from the promotion that we have on today. I've lined it up so I have a little white edge around the outside. Then I've cut one of the ribbon strips from the design sheets that you get in the kit. And I just love this gorgeous, oops, slide that in place there, aqua, dark blue and yellow. So this is my topper. Now when it comes to a almost like a gatefold, even though this is a thinner panel, always make sure you only put the foam pads on one side, which is what I've done there. And I'm just using a pricking tool to take it off like so. I mean, this is a lovely technique. So yes, you can go with a traditional gatefold, but what I've done is I wanted to go with a thinner panel. But if you remember, you always start with the 7.5 centimeters. That enables you to move from the inside panel, meet in the middle, to have a side panel. Now then what I've got is I've got these lovely extra embellishments that has come out of the kit. So I'm just going to line that like so, and then put a little bit of glue, and you can have them wherever you want. It's just to give a little bit of interest on my card. And this last one, I have got a foam pad on that. So let's put that on there like so. Now I did have, oh there it is, it's stuck there, a little heart. So I'm going to actually put that on the top there. And I think I've changed my mind. I think that's about it. On the original card that I had a just for you on there. But as you can see, you can add bows, you can add interest, you can have accents on there. It is a really good card to do. Now, when it comes to those gorgeous gatefolds, remember, start with a 7.5 centimeters either way, and then move it along. And you can have so much fun because you can take it to this size. Remember, this is the same technique, but I've made it wider like so. This was the original size, if I find it, there it is. So I have gone from a simple gatefold, like I showed you, meeting in the center. And this is a great technique, right down to doing the side panel and having it like so. So I hope you've enjoyed that technique of the week. Have a go and happy crafting.